Okay. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Highland Chronicles. So today we have the Sept of Red Hills has had a fairly eventful week. Had one of the Cleiths was killed in a battle with a mysterious creature and the young Black Fury, who is arriving on the Sept with the Black Fury delegation. The leader of the delegation is a crone um, named, let me just get a little withered up, Remembers the Past by Val. And she's an older guru, probably in her, I'd say in her late 30s, almost 40s. And she's leading the group. There's about you approach through the paths through the forest. Your delegation is from a sept farther down in on the English coastline, small Black Fury sept, and they traveled here, mostly going through the road that here on the edge of the Bond. Your group has entered the Tellurian, and when you arrive at the hills that mark the border, Remembers the Past will give up a howl, and after about 10 minutes, will come up from very close, and a group of 6 white-furred wolves in lupus will emerge from the trees. And as the wolves approach, Remembers the Past will speak with one of them briefly. You hear it's mainly just exchanging pleasantries, not really anything unique. And after a few minutes of talking, the Black Furies are granted entrance to the Sept, and the White Howlers lead you through the trees, on the path. When you arrive at the cairn, the main area of the Bond, you see there's concentric rings of cabins that looks almost like a small village. And there's several large paths going into a central meeting point in the very center of the sept, which has a large hill in the middle of it as well. And once you reach there, the howlers will go into one of the cabins, bring out the alpha, and Remembers the Past turns to the other Black Furies and tells them to investigate. Don't go where you're not supposed to, but investigate, learn about the sept, meet some guru, make some connections. As she turns to speak with the alpha, with the White Howler alpha, who's emerging from his cabin.
Prowls will wander off and start familiarizing herself with the sept, where the Cairnheart is, where the boundaries are. See if she can
Um,
figure out where her group is going to be staying, so to speak.
okay. Um, you don't figure out where, can't really figure out where the group will be staying for certain, although there's quite a few campings, like, well, not camping spots, but clearings in the trees, and you see through the trees there's a camp tent set up in one of them. So you can kind of infer that might be a similar arrangement for your group. The Cairn Heart is under the large hill in the center of the sept. They will not allow you to go in, but you are told yes, that is the Cairn Heart, and there's a lot of guru around. Most of them seem to be going about daily activities, keeping the bond clean, dealing with spirits, offering chiminage. A group of younger guru with this girl in the front, uh, sparring in a Hamed. She appears to be she appears to almost be like the senior student sort of thing, you'd think, from watching. Like, she tends to be winning a lot of her fights, and there's an older guru nearby watching and instructing.
She will smile and nod at this. She approves young women learning to fight and defend themselves.
Where as you pass, the girl kind of churns for a moment, looks kind of curiously at you. Her eyes are kind of big, and she gets tackled while she's staring at you, um, and goes back to her sparring. But you will feel like her glancing at you occasionally. You know, that feeling that someone's watching you.
She watches this girl get tackled, and I feel like somebody else is watching me.
No, like, you feel like she gets back when she gets back up. She's looking at you every so often.
She will find a nice place in the shade and lay down and watch.
Okay. Um, it appears to be, as you sit there listening to the older guru instruct. This is the Cubs training, and they eventually progress from Hamid sparring to Glabro sparring. The girl has an unusually large Glabro form. It's mottled fur. It doesn't really have like a specific color you'd associate with the tribe. It's like mottled fur, a little bit on the darker side. And after a while, they progress to sparring in Krynos. When they progress to sparring in Krynos, they'll have all but two of the students, two of the Cubs, sit down, and the guru teacher will be in Krynos as well in order to break anything up if the Cubs get too crazy. And the girl seems to be a very good fighter. She she is quite easily able to beat all of the other Cubs in a fight. And after you watch for probably half an hour or so until the Cubs get dismissed from the lesson.
I'm assuming she's probably going to approach me.
Yes, she approaches.
She continues to lay there just watching, seeing how she reacts, how she behaves. Behavior is important.
She approaches kind of slowly. She's not looking directly at Prowls, but she'll get close and then sort of jump a little and then bare her throat. She's new at this almost.
She'll rise. I am Prowls the Shadow Paths, born on 2 legs of the crescent moon. Black Fury Cleath. You are cub?
Teresa Mormont, cub born on eggs. She sounds very unsure of herself when she speaks, almost like she's kind of not really shy, but still unsure of herself.
And what moon were you born under, cub?
Full moon.
Corners of her mouth crick a little because she's learned that from humans, but no teeth are shown.
Okay.
Full moons are important. She kind of walks around the girl before she decides to lay back down and
You said you were a Black Fury, right, Raya?
yes, that is correct. You listen. It's a good skill.
Well, where in the Black Fury tribe?
What is it like? Women are praised, revered. We are everything the others are not. We are strength in being a woman in all stages of womanhood. Be it the maiden, be it the mother, or be it the crone. Woman's power grows and changes with her. We embrace and embody this. We
She kind
protect
of
those that cannot protect themselves.
she
We
kind of
teach
takes.
those that
Sorry.
we teach those that are weak how to protect themselves, that they not be weak.
She kind of takes a deep breath and nods. Thank you, Raya. And after a moment, you hear the guru that was teaching yell at her. And she kind of looks back and kind of turns back to Prowls and bares her throat again. I'm sorry, Raya, but I have to go finish lessons. Can I perhaps meet to speak with you more later?
I will be around. If you do not find me here, I will be in the Umbra. Look for the black cat. Or as
She not.
many call the panther.
She kind of nods. Thank you, Raya, before taking a few steps back and then turning to run over to the guru who called her. And after that, you see the sept life kind of going on. There's kinfolk wandering around on performing duties around the sept, although they do give Prowls a wide berth. You see there's quite a few wolf cubs and quite a few human children that the kinfolk are taking care of.
She will go and tend to the wolf cubs proper like.
Okay.
Because she's a wolf and those are wolf cubs and there's a certain way they need to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm. The human kinfolk that was trying desperately to take care of the wolfkin, the wolf pups, backs away as Prowls approaches and gives a kind of a grateful nod as she backs away very quickly to let Prowls take care of the cubs or the pups, and before she heads off to join with a few other kinfolk who are taking care of human children. You see there's about a dozen little wolf pups staring at Prowls.
And she's gonna get them to play and as a wolf and begin teaching them to hunt, stalk, smell.
Um, they catch on very quickly. They seem to be very intelligent wolf pups. Obviously, most of them are still very clumsy. You know, they'll chase each other, nip at each other's feet. A lot of them roll over a lot, you know, because they run too fast and they trip over their own paws, things like that. But generally, she gets them to work together and play together very effectively.
Good, because learning to work together is key to a wolf pack. Be they just stay wolves, or if they become working together is important.
Um, Apologies. She, there's one wolf pup in particular, um, who is very bold and kind of takes up the mantle of, you know, kind of takes up that sort of leadership position amongst the other wolf cubs. You know, when she has them chasing something, he's always the first at the, you know, first to the cubs chasing. He's always the first to start a play fight. He's very precocious, I want to say, is the word.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, the Cubs act like wolf cubs.
It makes her miss her cubs that she lost so long ago. She knows her mate and her cubs are out there somewhere, but being lost in the Umber for a time,
Mm-hmm.
you don't exactly know where that was anymore.
After about an hour or so playing, a pack of wolves, very obviously not Guru because of the way they act around Prowls, arrive, and sort of they have a deer carcass with them, that one that they're dragging into the sept. It appears to be about half eaten, but there's quite a bit of meat left on it that they drag forward, and the cubs rush over to eat as the pack of kinfolk kind of look at Prowls, kind of approach and sniff her very carefully.
She will return the sniffs because, well, that's what wolves do. How you greet wolves.
Mm-hmm. After they sniff her, they bare their throats. And
She nips at their throats.
After each one will kind of approach, bare their throat, and after she nips at them, we'll kind of walk back to the cubs and kind of sniff over the cubs, checking the cubs, making sure they're all there. And once the cubs finish eating, they pick them up by the scruff of their necks and head off with their cubs.
And she will continue her exploration of the sept until the time she was supposed to go back to meet remembers the past.
Well, you explore for probably about another hour. At this point, it's starting to get late. The sun is starting to set. And one of the other Black Furies that arrived with you. Let me find her picture. She comes to find you in Hamid. And this is, let me go because I have a deed name for this one. I just cannot remember it. You know this Black Fury, she's an Arun. And her name is, if Facebook will load so I can get to her deed name. Pegasus's Warcry. And she will find Prowls and tell her that the that remembers the past has set up a place for them to rest and to hunt from, and lead her there. And it is one of the clearings. They've set up some of the tents that they used, the Hamids in the group preferred using to sleep in. While on the trip up, they set them up. And remembers the past after take the group hunting.
Hunting, nom nom.
And you guys are able to track down a small deer. Not a big one like the one the kinfolk brought in earlier, because it's sort of getting late and most of the animals are bedding down. But you're able to catch a young buck who was out later than he should have been. You're able to all eat. Remembers the past. It serves to mention has because you have seen her in the Umbra. She has quite a lot of spirit heritage with owl spirits, and has an owl spirit that attends her at almost all times.
Interesting.
But unless there's anything else you'd like to do, we can narrate out from here.
Nope. She's probably going to dig a hole to sleep in, since we're going to be here a while.
Okay. And the other lupus will help. But other than that, so now that the Black Furies have arrived at the Sept, things are going to start getting crazy. So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and stay tuned for more.